Hey guys, it's Jennifer John Gaviola. Hope you're having a good day. I wanted to hop on here and share an inspired topic today. I titled this live, You Can Be Seen. You have to be seen before you can be heard. You have to be seen before you can be heard. So this is actually this is inspired by a topic we talked about in my Quiet Voice Big Impact Mastermind. Last week we talked about, the topic last month was really about being visible as an introvert. How do you consistently put yourself out there as an introverted entrepreneur? And one of my students talked about how you have to be seen before you can be heard. And it totally resonated with the group, and it resonated with me. And so I felt moved to talk about this topic today because it's really relevant, especially if you're an entrepreneur, especially as an introvert. So first off, why I feel like it's relevant is because we live in a physical world, right? So people see you first, right? How you present yourself matters. So how you show up in the world really has a direct effect on like how people engage with you. If they like what they see, then they're going to be more open to hear what you have to say, right? Again, because we live in a physical world. But how do you do that? How do you maintain that as an introvert, right? Because as an introvert, we are not about surface connections. We like to go deep. So how do you present yourself in a way that where you stand out, that it feels really authentic to you? How do you do that consistently, in your business? So people, so you become top of mind and people can remember you for who you are and your value. So this is what I want to talk about today. So what I have found in my entrepreneurial career, let's say I've been doing this for over 9 years, is that to be memorable, to stand out, to be impactful in your business, it's so much more, like how to stand out, it's so much more than the techniques and the strategies. That is definitely a part of being visible, but I feel like I've tested this and I feel like what really sets you apart is really your energy, right? Your energy is really what is going to attract the right people to you. It's really about creating resonance within you so you can create resonance with the right people. So with that, you have to learn how to master your energy. You have to really learn how to like own your vibe in a way where you're attracting the right people, where you're energetically attracting the right people. And what I found, and I learned this from a mentor, is that when you're putting yourself out there, it's like the people, your ideal people that want to work with you, they essentially want you to match their energy or even surpass their energy, because they're trying to achieve a certain level of presence and power within themselves. And that's what they're attracted to in you, right? So it's really important, this topic around like how you present yourself and your presence and your energy. It's super important because like attracts like, and I feel like your ideal clients, they want to be mentored and guided by a leader, a mentor who can match or surpass their energy, because they're trying to like reach a certain level, right? So you actually have to demonstrate that in your presence for them to believe you, and especially to give you money, right? So how do we do this, right? So there's 3 things I wanted to share with you today to help you really cultivate this for yourself, like really to help you master your energy, master your presence, because this is really the secret sauce for you. So the first thing is to cultivate intimacy. Okay, so as an introvert, we really thrive on intimacy, creating intimate connections, but that first starts with yourself, right? And I can't remember where I learned this from, but just the breakdown of intimacy, you can also read it as into me, I see. Giving yourself permission to really look deep within yourself and really see yourself, because no one can see you truly see you if you don't see yourself. No one can recognize your value if you don't recognize your value, right? So it's really important that you acknowledge yourself. Your relationship with yourself is like paramount. It's like the foundation for all of this. If you can't see yourself, other people can't see you. So it's really important that you acknowledge, you know, who you are, your strengths, celebrate your wins, really cultivate a encouraging relationship with yourself, because that's going to be the touch point, the foundation for other people to be able to recognize your value. So that's the first one, to cultivate intimacy, right? Because the more intimacy you can create with yourself, then you can hold space for others and create real connections. All right, so the second thing to help you stand out, like with your energy and your presence, is to share your unique self-expression. Okay, so what this means is to freely express who you are on the inside. Again, we live in a material, physical world, right? So how do we present ourselves as introverted entrepreneurs in a way? Oh, I hope you don't mind, that's my cat. So how do you present yourself in a way to the outside world where everything feels aligned with who you are on the inside, so you can energetically attract the right people on the outside, inside and outside, that congruency. So what I found is like giving yourself permission to freely express who you are and finding ways to do things that make you come alive. Make you come alive. Like, I'm getting goosebumps as I even say that, because it's really important that you find outlets, creative expressions that make you feel the most alive, because again, we're trying to cultivate energy, right? A vibe, right? So what we're trying to do here is to help you share your voice, own your energy, give yourself permission to take up space. Really, you're trying to make your presence known, right? So explore whatever that creative self-expression is for you, right? So it could be writing, could be dancing, could be nature, yoga, exercise. I'm not really, whatever lights you up. The goal is for you to share that you're a dynamic human being. It's like you may have a business in one area of your life, but you really want to share with people that you're dynamic and that you have multiple dimensions to you, and you want to demonstrate what it looks like for you to come alive, so it inspires them to also like come alive. And so I'll go in more into detail like how I do this, but for me, what makes me come alive is style. So I'll share that in a minute, like what that looks like for me. But that's really how I've not only grown my business organically, even though I'm not a traditional stylist, I do branding and marketing, you know, for introverts. Style and your presence is a part of that. And so me demonstrating that has actually helped grow my business organically. So again, I'll go over that a little bit more in a second. But I wanted to talk about the third key here is to establish deep connection. So the goal is to create resonance, right? What we talked about. The goal is to create resonance within yourself, that alignment, so you can create resonance with others. So to create this deep connection with others, you have to create an emotional connection. You have to really feel what you're sharing. Like you have to feel really inspired. Like you get goosebumps. You really feel what you're sharing. What I'm talking about today really lights me up because I feel it. So you have to create that emotional connection within yourself first, but especially as you're sharing your posts and your videos, you have to establish that emotional connection and tell a story in a way that moves you in order to move others, right? If what you're sharing doesn't give you any feeling or emotion, it's really not going to like land for people. You have to like find ways to talk about your life, your story, tips, things that really, lessons, things that really feel relevant to you, that you feel like can help your ideal clients, but tell it in a way where you're feeling what you're saying, right? Because that's really important to establish that connection. So, okay, so I just want to recap. So to help you stand out as an introverted entrepreneur, the secret is really like owning your energy, owning your presence, right? So how you do that is you cultivate intimacy within yourself, you share your self-expression, you do things that make you come alive, That way you share who you are on the inside. You have that congruency from the inside out, right? And then you establish deep connection with others by sharing emotions, sharing stories, right? So I always like to learn through experience. So what I feel inspired to share with you is next week. I don't know if you've heard, but last week I did a photo shoot based on my word of the year, which is renewal. And I felt divinely led to do it. I did it last week. I was going to share some behind the scenes, but I don't know. It felt like I needed to like experience that for myself. So I didn't share much during the process, but I am going to share the photos next week. And this is really, I want to help like be an example of what it is like for me as an introverted entrepreneur to share my photos, to share my creative self-expression, to help demonstrate this creative process for you around this topic, right? This is really what makes me come alive. And to be honest, this is how I've, received or connected with a lot of ideal clients, is because they feel what they've said to me. My most favorite clients, they said, Jennifer, what initially drew me to you was not necessarily your branding or your design or your strategy. It was like your vibe, your style. That was like the initial that's what established the resonance, is because they could feel my energy. And I always say, your energy doesn't lie. So it's really about give yourself permission to show up and like embody who you really feel that you are on the inside. And that honesty, that truthfulness, that courage from the inside will then emanate out, radiate out, and your energy will be picked up by the right people, creating that resonance. So I hope this, if you're feeling what I'm saying, and if you'd like to learn more and go deeper, if you have any questions, actually share in the comments. We would love to know your biggest takeaways. But if you'd like to go deeper and really talk about how you can do this for yourself and really stand out in a way where you're really mastering your energy and your presence and confidently like showing up consistently and standing out in your own way as an introverted entrepreneur, I invite you to schedule a complimentary discovery call with me. You can email me at info@dawningsoul.com or send me a private message. But I'm super excited to share my photos from my renewal photo shoot. I'm going to be sharing not only the photos, but also like my thoughts behind each look, because the way I approach branding and just like my business in general is, I'm human, and I like to share different dimensions of me so we can have a real human connection. And so on one level, I'm sharing like cool photos, right? But this process is really about me seeing myself and then allowing myself to be seen, but in a way that feels deeply congruent, deeply resonant with me. And I know that like because the energy is so intentional in how I'm doing this, that the energy I'm putting out is gonna organically and energetically attract the right people to me. So I hope it really helps you. Would love to hear feedback when I start sharing next week. But we'd love to know what your biggest takeaways are for this video, and I hope this has been helpful for you. Thanks, guys, for those of you that are here live. And again, would love to know your biggest takeaways. Just share in the comments below. And if you'd like to connect and learn how you can do this for yourself and really stand out in your business as an introverted entrepreneur, email me at info@dawningsoul.com or send me a private message. Okay, guys, I'll talk with you soon.